Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hesitation Station podcast. It is I, Jay, along with my co-host Tank over here. How's it going, buddy?
Doing good, man. Friggin' tired as hell, but
You
yeah,
keep
good.
disappearing. You just keep disappearing. You're Danny Phantom. But
He's
yeah,
gonna catch them all because his name's Danny Phantom.
I'm very happy to be back into the studio, guys, because this guy is now officially a homeowner, and I helped him
Oh,
all weekend moving, and we're finally
yes.
sitting down.
I
So,
finally have my own place. It's in my name. Well, mine and my wife's name. And ladies and gentlemen, I actually have an office.
oh my God,
It's so nice.
I've been
Oh,
in an
yes.
office.
I don't know if that counts as an office since your drum set's in there.
True.
It's
Well,
like your studio.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Why do I keep disappearing?
I don't know. I'm sorry, everybody. I listened to our last 3 episodes and I realized that the headphones wasn't very good. So I got my Yeti back. So now I sound amazing balls.
Balls.
Okay, that's enough. All right, today we have a special guest coming on with us. You might have heard of him, and if you haven't, you need to go to Spotify, look up his name, and listen to his music. He is a fantastic songwriter, fantastic singer. I can't say anything bad about this dude. I love his music. Whereas Tank's not really country, and I am. But he actually liked this country artist, so
I don't like
I
country
mean,
music, especially these days, but I like him, which
yeah,
is weird.
saying a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, if you guys are ready to get taken back to the 90s, and if y'all guys are watching this drinking whiskey, make sure that whiskey doesn't shoot you tonight, by the way. Give it up for Mr.
If it does, you're
Austin.
probably the problem.
See, I like what you did. Give it up for Mr. Austin Forman.
Pow.
Wow.
Man.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey, that was good, by the way. The little thing right there.
Yep.
The 90s
Thank you,
whiskey
thank you.
problem. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
He added in that little. See, you did your research. I'm so proud of
See,
you.
yeah, I told you I would.
If people
It
don't
was-
do that as soon as I jump on a podcast, I immediately log off. So I'm glad you guys did that.
Okay, I appreciate you.
See, we're doing something right.
We're doing something right. How's it going, man? How's it going?
It's going good, bro. It's going good. Just honestly was chilling, playing some Madden
Playing some Madden.
and yep, and my wife's about to pop. She's over here stretching out on the floor.
Yep.
So I'm
I
about to have a
saw
little
that
girl
on your
and-
TikTok.
Does she need a doctor?
Oh no. She's just stretching
Oh.
out to get the baby to stretch out.
Oh,
Yep. How far along is she?
Show any day now, man. That baby will be here any day.
Are you excited?
Oh yeah, no, I'm stoked. I'm thrilled. Be
dude,
third-
my fucking brain went way over that way. She's about to pop. I was like, how much did y'all eat? Like, I'm hungry as hell right now. What? Why ain't we sharing?
Is I do
You
want
ever
to
tried-
ask, man, is this your first baby or is this your second?
This is my third child.
Third. Oh, this ain't
Nice.
nothing to Austin. He's like, nah, whatever.
Yeah. No, at first I was like, man, because see, my daughter's 9. That's she's my oldest. I have a 6-year-old son, and then I'm like thinking, you got your toddler phase out. We got the baby phase done twice, and all good there. And she got pregnant, and I said, man, I'm doing this again. I'm 30. This would be her first child biologically, and so I'm like, God. But now I'm just excited. I'm happy. Once you're, like I said, my first one's 9, so there's a big difference between 21-year-old me and 30-year-old me. And
Oh, yeah.
and I get it. I feel like I'm just getting another chance to do it and do it better
Oh,
with all the experience I have. And not that my daughter and I aren't close or anything, but I just know that looking back, like, man, there's so many things I know now I wish I knew then. I probably could have done
Yeah.
this, but I wouldn't be so stressed, and I have a lot more patience than I used to.
well, that's
You wouldn't be. You ain't gonna be second guessing everything.
right.
Right, that too. Yeah.
That's another thing you talked about on your TikTok is you're an avid songwriter and you I would say very successful songs at that.
There we go.
And you turned down a label and because you were
Really?
going to be too far away from your daughter. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, I didn't. necessarily like turned down in a way that, oh, I'm F you guys, I'm not doing your contract or whatever. It's just, well, so Warner Music up in Nashville, after Take Me Back to the 90s, charted number 7, reached out and wanted to meet. And so we did. I went up there. By the way, this is the first time I've talked about this to anybody. I used to tell them it was off limits, but now it's fine. So we went up there, me and Bobby and our producer Brent. Went up there and met with them, and really, truly nice people. The A&R team was there, the entire team. The president of Warner, she came in and hung out with me for a couple hours, played some music. They wanted to ask questions, hear some of my story. And really, the thing is, they want me to move up to Nashville, and I didn't like this, man. They said so. She made it clear that, in her opinion, I wouldn't be able to make it in that business without them and without moving up to Nashville. And I love Nashville, by the way. I'm up there a lot. I record all my music there and all that stuff. And, but I have a 9-year-old daughter here that I don't have to leave her behind to be successful. And I live in, around Pensacola, Florida. And it kind of just, I'm the type of person, bro, like you don't really say that kind of stuff too, because now I will put myself in a worse place financially just to prove you wrong. Like, I don't need, just to show you that I don't need you. Like, I'm sorry, how'd you find me? I was number 7 in the world oh, okay. I didn't have you guys though. That's weird. That's what I want to say to them. But,
Yeah.
I love
You want to
that.
prove, yeah, you want to prove them wrong.
Yeah, man, you got to,
Shut
bro.
up.
I mean, I did what, Take Me Back to the 90s is still on a bunch of radio stations and was played in rotation on radio stations all over the country, not because I paid money to make that. I don't have money for that. I didn't, because I don't have a record label. And that's something that you're not supposed to be able to do in country music without the machine, without the labels.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm almost starting to get the sense that they were trying to like basically like, oh, you go back over here, do it, or you come with us, or you move up here with us, but you're not going to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
They were basically trying to have strings on you.
Yeah.
I mean, and to say that it's just, I can't ever get over it, man. Remembering her say that to the president, just say you can't make it without moving up here. It's like, no, that city does not own country music. People own country music. People that or music in general, and the internet's changed the game so much to where if your music's good, people are going to listen to it. You don't have to have them behind you. And I think that scares them a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, case in point, look at Tom McDonald.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing it on
That's
his
funny.
own.
He just liked one of my posts yesterday, but we've talked a couple of times. He's a nice guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the first song I heard from him was called Buttholes. And, I mean, he's got what it takes. He has really good music, and, I mean, if you're good at what you do and people resonate with it, then you don't need all that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a longer road. The shortcut is get a record deal in Nashville, take that money and the resources, and that's a shortcut. But I know people personally that have record deals with them, and they don't get to pick when they release their music. They don't even get to choose what songs they release. They got to record songs written by that label's songwriters, and so all the freedom and the reason that I do music and that I love music, being able to express myself in that way, and that would all go away. I'd rather, I don't have to be I might be a millionaire one day. I don't know, but I don't have to be happy. I grew up with nothing, dude.
You essentially lose the freedom of creativity.
Yeah, you could take all this money up front and lose your happiness, and because why you want to be a musician for that freedom, you lose that, all the money. That's not worth nothing, man. It shouldn't be worth nothing to anybody. If you talk to anybody, I just saw Tracy Lawrence. He does a podcast, and he kind of hit on it a little bit, where it wasn't what people think it is. It's when they sign to these labels. So
yeah, I mean, this is matter of fact. This was like 10 minutes before I was coming on here. I had to go to my mom's house because she lives like right behind me. And I had to go get my computer and my car back from her. And I was like, hey, I gotta go. Thank you so much for letting me use the truck because I helped this dude move. So I'm like, thank you, appreciate you, love you. She's like, well, where are you going? I was like, I got an interview in like 10 minutes with a guy named Austin Forman. He's a country singer. And so I showed like the Take Me Back to the 90s. I only showed like the part one of the first line and the chorus. Okay. She already fell in love with you. She loves your music. And I told her before I left, I was like, I'm so glad we got him on because I know for a fact you're gonna go far. Even without record labels. I feel like you will.
Thank
Because
you,
I
man.
mean you have the voice, you have the skill, you got the guitar playing down. I mean, you got it, man. You really do.
Thank you, bro.
I,
Yeah. Shout
I'm
out
a
to Jay's
huge
mom.
fan of. I'm a huge fan of music, most genres, and after yesterday and today, because he told me what you told me what Thursday, Friday that we were having him on,
Don't
and
tell him
I
I was
started.
excited.
Oh, he was super excited. He goes, "Dude, we have Austin coming on at 5," and I'm like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Because he didn't tell me, and I didn't know anything about it. But once he told me, I looked up your stuff last night and listened to it today, and I see a lot of similarities between as far as like delivery and flow and instrumentals and everything goes. I see a lot of similarities between like you, Tom McDonald, and Tech Nine. And I mean Tom and Tech started by themselves. Tech had a couple labels, but then he hated it because they wanted, like you said, he didn't have no freedom, so he started his own, and now he's humongous in the rap game. And I mean, we all see what Tom's doing. So, I mean, in my opinion, and take it or leave it, that's fine. I agree with Jay. I think you're going to go far.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. No, that's a huge compliment. I appreciate. Tom is super successful in his own right.
Yeah.
Like very, very successful, obviously, and so that's a great compliment. Thank you. Yeah, well, Jay, the thing is, you said the reason that I am going to make it, wherever I need to go, and the reason is not because I'm better than this person or whatever. It's there's a certain amount of to everything. Yeah, that's kind of talent, right? But I mean, you got even 2 years ago, I didn't sound the way that I sound now, and I definitely couldn't sing the way I can sing now. I wasn't writing the same kind of songs I was writing. But I think anybody can really, if they choose to do something, and especially this music thing, if you work really hard at it and you just don't quit, like right now, my videos on TikTok, they're not getting views for garbage. That just sometimes that happens. And it's about that time where you want to quit, give up. Oh, well, I did good and now you're not doing good. But if you just don't, there's no way nothing's going to stop you.
Thanks.
Just don't quit.
Right?
It's nothing's going to stop you, right? You're going to have that one video, that thing that like, how many times I posted Take Me Back to the 90s before the video got any views? Like probably 12 times, all right, over a span of a month. And I was like, man, I know this is a great song, dude. All I needed is for it to catch the algorithm. And I had to redo it. So I just, instead of just giving up on it, like a lot of people do, I just made the video a different way every time. I blamed myself, said, okay, I'm not doing something right. Let me fix this, fix that. And that's going to be the difference between somebody that falls off and then ends up blaming the industry or whatever, or somebody that, makes it to where they need to be. And I don't have to be on the Grand Ole Opry, bro. Looking at the people they put on there. All right, you take this how you want, but why was Kid G on the Grand Ole Opry? I mean,
I don't even know who that is.
Me either.
Yes, it's a kid.
So
probably shouldn't have said that, but
we got you.
We have a buddy, Danny Flamingo. He's an independent wrestler down in Louisiana with Wildcat Sports, right? And he talked a lot about that, and it brought up a topic that we touched on, and it was to succeed, you need three things. You need the heart, the mind, and the body for it. If your heart is in it and you've got that drive to do it, you take the body, you get the skills and learn how to do it, and you have the mind for the business, whatever the business may be. As long as you got those three, it don't matter. you'll hit your stride at some point. You know, it'll take a while because, like you said, you had to post it and repost it and repost it because you got to find that niche that it'll fall under, so everyone will gravitate towards it. But once you do, as long as you keep that drive and your mind on it and learn what you need to learn to elevate your talent, the sky's the limit, man.
Yep. Yeah. And the cool thing about music is you don't even have to have the body for it. Look at Jelly Roll. I mean, hey.
Well, when I say body for this one, I'm talking about the being able to play the guitar, the drums, or whatever instrument it is, and being able to vocalize and harmonize with it all.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. No, you're right. Absolutely. I mean, that's that, and I think you got to have. I know that you're not in music. Unless you have like a lot of confidence in yourself, and your ability. There's two things that go with this: the confidence, and then also the ability to know when you're wrong, right? The ability to know when you're wrong, the ability to admit when you're not doing something right, or I guess self-reflection is the best way to put it. You have to be able to do that, otherwise, because and that confidence a lot of times will look like arrogance to some people, But I just let them think how they want to think. I know what I got over here, and if I don't believe in myself, why would anybody else? Right.
And that's the funny thing, because when you find the people that look at the confidence as arrogance, those are the ones that have usually given up on themselves. And once they do that, they don't see anybody getting better at anything. And I'll be the first to admit that was me at one point in time, but over the years, I found what I'm good at. I found what I can excel at. I focused on it, and I'm not saying I'm the best, because I probably never will be, but I'm infinitely better than I used to be. And that's, in my opinion, that's what it is. The only thing I'm trying to be is better than I was yesterday.
Yep. Yes. As if you're improving every day, that's the goal. If you stop doing that, then something's not right.
I mean, you've even posted this on TikTok that I saw when you released "Whiskey Don't Shoot Me Tonight." You said this wasn't always me. You put a video of you falling off stage, because you were so drunk. How is that coming from that you to where you're at now? I mean, you have to feel amazing, and then on top of that, like you just said, you can't just give up on yourself. You got to keep going. And look at you now. You have 4 great songs that sound amazing and are doing well, I would say.
Right.
What's the fourth one?
Take Me Back to the 90s. Whiskey Don't Shoot Me Tonight. Probably the Problem. And then Dear Dad. I like that one.
I haven't heard that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that was so I drank like that for as long as I can remember, years, which it's I was drinking so much I probably can't remember much of it. But I did drink. I mean, and it kind of just happened, and then transitioning from that is crazy, because I was so afraid to stop drinking. If I'm being honest, I was afraid to stop drinking for years, because I had gotten so used to it being the norm that I didn't know what it was going to feel like to be sober. I couldn't get on stage and sing without having a couple of drinks, I would say, to calm my nerves or whatever it might be, and kind of loosen me up. And I didn't know how I was going to sound. Your voice, the thing about your voice too, when you sing, is it changes every day. Every day when I wake up, I could have a little bit of phlegm here, or my breathing could be different, or my mindset could be a little bit different. It changes the way you sing and how well you're able to project those things. And so alcohol, when you're drinking it all the time, alters your mental state so much that when you sober up. So when I sobered up, I was very antisocial. I still don't like. I mean, alcohol made me social. I'm not much of a go hang around a bunch of people type of person, but very antisocial, and I just spent all my time on my back porch, just kind of trying to distract myself as much as I could, because I didn't go to rehab or anything. So I just did it, cold turkey. And I knew it was going to be hard. And so I wrote songs, all these things, these feelings that I was experiencing that I guess I had ignored by drinking so much through the years. I wrote songs about it instead of just crying and whining and talk about it. I figured I'd write songs, and that's where a lot of these came from. And even take me back to the '90s, which wasn't really, it's not an emotional song at all. But I wrote that. The song started because I was pissed off seeing these people on TikTok that can't really sing, that can't really play an instrument, and I can see right through it. And watching them, ain't nobody propped up by the jukebox. They can use their phones, and they're half these boys haven't chased neon rainbow, meaning they haven't gone and played in these bars. And I've been playing bars for 10 years. They don't everything that country music is supposed to be. They haven't, because they're paying their dues from home, meaning they're on their phone on it making, TikToks, and whether they're putting money behind it or, they just got lucky. And then they get on a stage and play in front of 2,000 people for their first gig ever, and they choke, Bailey Zimmerman, and they look, somebody's out in the crowd filming it, posted the next day, and everybody's making fun of them saying they can't sing. And that sucks. That sucks because the dude actually can sing, but he didn't pay his dues. He didn't get put his time in, put his work in, get comfortable on stage, get comfortable with himself and his voice. He said in an interview, I never really wanted to be a singer. I just got lucky on TikTok and went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. It sets them up for failure, in my opinion. But at any rate, switching that, man, and it's the best decision I ever made in my life, though. For a little bit, it was hard, but it wasn't that it made me want to go back to drinking. It made me wish I never did. So it was difficult, but I feel so much better, and I switched to a different type of nerve relaxing method called Mary Jane, but in moderation, that's great, and it honestly saved my life, bro. And I would never go back to being that guy that fell off the stage. That's one time I got on video. I was drunk all the time, and it was, by the end of the night, it was embarrassing. And I embarrassed people that love me and myself, and my work ethic has tripled, because an addict will always be an addict. I say that, and it's true. It's a personality thing. You have an addictive personality. And I think a lot of musicians and most very successful people in general, whatever business they're in, they have an addictive personality, because you have to be obsessive in order to be the best. And because if you're not, somebody else is. And so I just decided to shift what I was addicted to, and made it my work more than looking for my next drink.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. Because a lot of people have, whether it be alcohol, drugs, women, whatever, there's always something that they're addicted to. And sometimes it can be a good thing. Like somebody loves working out, so they go and do it constantly. Or, people love running marathons, so they train for a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
But 9 out of 10 times, it's not something that's healthy. And I've seen people battle addiction, and I've seen people lose that battle. And it's heart-rending, my guy. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But with every failure, you have a story of somebody, you or other people, that have found a way to overcome the adversity and get past the demons that they had and come out for the better and find a way to just turn it all around. And kudos, you have my utmost gratitude and respect for that.
Yep, you just got to get sick of yourself.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Look, I just dropped our live stream. It's cool.
Why are you dropping stuff?
If it makes you feel any better, man, I got so drunk, I ended up chugging a whole bottle of vodka. It was called Freeze Vodka. And I just grabbed the handle, chugged it, and thought it was going to be a wonderful, wonderful night. And I ended up getting mad at everyone and thought everybody hated me. Stormed out of my own house and went into the woods thinking that my friends are not going to come look for me. Matter of fact, he was there.
I remember that. I was pissed because you were like, I'm going to go live in the woods with the serial killer. And I'm like,
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
So I went into the woods and I thought they wasn't looking for me. Spoiler, they were looking for me. And I went in, they finally found me and they're like, what are you doing, Jay? I was like, I'm talking to my imaginary friend or my serial killer friend. He understands me. so,
Dude,
so, yeah.
that's fucking all right. So, real quick, hilarious. You want to hear some George Jones shit?
Okay.
Sure.
I got so hammered one time that this type of thing happened pretty often. But I was home here with my wife, and I was wanting to go to the store and buy a pack of cigarettes. Well, she wouldn't let me drive. It was like the middle of the night, and being good wife. By the way, I love her. I don't think she's still in here. Baby, are you in here? All right, I don't know where she went, but God, what a patient woman dealing with me. But at any rate, so I was like, got mad at her, and I had to handle the fireball, and I'm already blitzed out of my mind. It's towards the end of the night, and I just leave the house in my pajama pants and a white V-neck T-shirt, and start walking. And I said, I'm gonna walk to the store. Then I had to handle the fireball on my hand, like big old handle.
Mhm.
And I go off into the woods, and it's raining. And I'm so drunk, I just go off in the woods, lay down in this open clearing spot I found. Raining, laying in the mud. Ooh, I'm drinking my life away, singing to myself. And I just see a flashlight, and I hear my wife calling, and I'm like, oh shit, So I get up, walk around, and I was laying in that. We have a couple bears around here. I was laying in a bear nest, and then like
Oh.
where the
No.
bear has been hanging out, and I didn't even realize that I could have gotten eaten up. So
Wow.
I go back in with my wife, and still we're having that argument, and I'm like, well, I'm going to Bobby's house. So I call an Uber, right? And it's the middle of the night, and I don't know if you know who Bobby is. Or you might, Jay. Tank doesn't. I'm
Is
sure.
that your friend, your like best friend on that I've seen on TikTok?
Yep, that's my best friend, and he's
Okay.
a co-writer of Take Me Back to the '90s.
Yeah.
Writes a lot of songs with me. But anyway, I'm going to Bobby's house, so I call an Uber, and the lady shows up, and I show up with my the Fireball has no cap on it. No cap on it at all. I don't know where the cap went. And I'm in like my white T-shirt's dirty with mud all over it, pajama pants is like Vans. I get in, I'm like, I'm bringing this, is that all right? And for some reason she let me. She Ubers me to Bob. I show up at Bobby's house knocking on the door, and he'll always tell the stories. I never forget. Austin shows up, and he's filthy with a handle of Fireball going, I'm here. But
I get imagine the
multiple
face
times.
on that.
They say George Jones Tammy would lock he hide his keys so he couldn't go to the store and buy more beer because he was so drunk. And one time he took the lawnmower and rode his ride. I mean, he had a #1 hit song out at the time, and he's riding his riding mower up to the freaking gas station to get a 6-pack of beer.
Ain't that the most Bobby
Wow.
Boucher shit you have ever heard?
Right.
Man.
Riding his lawnmower.
It makes me not regret having, making the mistakes I made. That's one thing I wouldn't be who I am without being that person first, right? And I learned a lot, and it gave me I can help other people maybe. I'm going to speak to a group of juvenile teenage addicts, I guess. I forgot what the thing's called, but I never thought I'd be doing that, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
since I was a teenager, I was drinking and doing whatever I could to not stay level, right?
Right.
And then it also gave me stories, man. It's okay. We're not being insensitive by thinking stories like that are funny, because looking back, they are, because they're ridiculous,
Yeah.
But it's all right to laugh at stuff like that, and it gave me experience,
I
Well-
100% agree that our stories are funny. Like I think of stories that I did when I was drinking as well, and
Yeah.
me and my wife will look back on them. Help me and Tank will look back on them, and we'll laugh about it. And I'm like, man, I miss those days. But then I start thinking, I'm like, but I don't miss the actions along with it.
So
Yeah.
before we all started with the stories, you said something, and I instantly thought free Shavakadu for some reason.
For what?
But
Why?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look back and see what it was you said, and I'll let you know. But I wanted to shout out free Shavakadu for some reason. But the last time I got wasted was at an old house I lived at. Him and his wife had come over. I was 7 or 8 shots in on a handle of Jack with my other buddy, and they came in. They had just gotten a new car, and they were like, "Hey, come look at it." So we went outside, and I looked at it, and it was nice. And they popped the trunk, and I was like, "I bet I could fit in there." So now I'm 6'4", 325 pounds. 3 of me could have fit in that trunk. So I got out, and we went back inside, and we were talking and having fun and everything. And my other buddy had this bottle of 100 proof peppermint schnapps.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what happened.
I know what happened.
I don't know. No, I know. I don't know how it got started, but we were talking, and his wife was like, "Hey, Tank, I bet you won't drink that bottle of 100 proof schnapps." And I was like, "You damn right I won't." But then out of the back of my ear, I hear my other buddy go, "That's right, because he's a pussy." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck that." So I turned on the song "Shots" by LMFAO featuring Lil Jon. And when it got to the chorus, I popped that top and turned that bottle up. 30 minutes later, Tank was gone.
Yep. 30 minutes, no, 40 minutes later, the other Jay called us, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know what to do with Tank. He's on the floor, and he won't get back up, and he's throwing up." So we had to go back over there, me and my wife. You know how my wife got him to bed? Just guess.
Dragged him.
No, hell no, we're not dragging.
That would have been funny as hell.
She said
she's like 5 foot nothing.
She said, "Tank, you want some more shots? I'll get you some more if you get up." This man got up like he was the Undertaker, and it was like, "Shots," and then fell on the bed.
Yeah, isn't that funny when you're drunk that you think more alcohol will bring you back to life?
Right. Then that was also the day, because I woke up the next day and there was gray stuff everywhere. And my wife at the time, she was my girlfriend, was very, very sad because it was supposed to be date day and I had a massive hangover. So I was like, you know what? I can drink more, but I'm not gonna.
Hair of the dog.
I'm good.
Yeah, and that's, a lot of people, most people can every now and then have a good time, whatever, get a little drunk or have some drinks. I just can't do that, man. If I start drinking, I like to say everything I do. I was raised on a farm. We do everything 100%. Right? We don't half-ass anything, and I guess that included drinking for me. So it was every morning I would drink. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab a Monster, but every morning I would drink 1 or 2 Monsters. For caffeine, get my energy, cure whatever I was feeling from the night before. After that, it was nothing but alcohol from then until I passed out at night. And that's not an exaggeration. That's the truth. And I hate that it is. But looking back, I can't believe I went so many years with every single day of my life being like that. And I'm still here. Because it was, at least 12 to 15 beers a day at minimum, or a bottle of vodka, or I had a whiskey phase, and so on and so forth. But my fingers started turning yellow, dude. Like, I was like, man, I'm not kidding.
That's liver failure, sir.
Yeah, and correct, and I'm glad I stopped when I did. It's fine, but now, I was like, man, this is getting bad. I'm about to join the 29 club over here. I'm gonna grab a Monster real quick.
Okay, grab me one.
All right, bet.
I'll take 2.
All right, it'll be there in 2 to 3 business days.
Yeah.
Wow, that is quick.
That's quick. Well,
I got a mini fridge in here, man. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not. Next time I'm playing is they have this thing called Spring Jam, and it's down here in around Pensacola area. It's Parmalee, some country band. They're all right. They do that song, "Take My Hand, Baby, Make It," whatever it is. I don't know. It's more of a modern song, and Kid G's actually playing it, which is funny. But that's going to be a big show out there. But tour, people ask me on Facebook, especially Facebook. I have a larger following there too, but they ask me all the time, "When you go on tour and do this?" I'm like, dude, you guys realize how expensive a tour is? Like, and you if you want to call these little bars, and like if I wanted to set up a little bar tour, I'd have to play 3 or 4 shows a week at 3 hours a piece, hoping I make enough money to pay for it. And I'm about to have a new baby. I can sit
Yeah.
right here in my underwear on TikTok and make more money, you know, until I'm opening for a larger artist, or if I have you know, like a number one song that I know people will buy more tickets to, because just because you have 400,000 followers on social media, they're spread throughout the entire country. So you go to a certain city,
Yeah.
maybe 5 or 6 of the people might follow you, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my goal right now, for us is to get on TikTok live, and we have to have 1,000 followers for that.
oh
We
dude, I can
are
make how many do you have right now?
208.
208. All right. So I'm gonna post this segment right here. He has 208 followers, guys. I'm tagging them. But let's show him how fast we work. Watch this. Let's get this guy live. You put him live on TikTok, and I'll do another episode with him where we can go live on TikTok or something like that together.
Oh,
All right. So
Bam, son.
promise
so
it'll happen, bro. It'll happen.
I'm gonna I'm gonna cut that and put that right in there for one of the stuff. Now, why I got you though, while I got you, that way I have it on recording. I can use your music for promos, right? For
Absolutely,
this
bro.
episode.
Please.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
please do. Yeah, I, anybody that's doing anything with my music, I'm not. Dude, trust me, the money that I would lose on that technically would be like pennies on the dollar, anyways.
Yeah,
And who cares?
yeah.
Yeah, I
I don't know how
appreciate
this stuff
anybody
works.
using. No, yeah, I know. Well, if you're talking to a record label or something, they're so freaking greedy. They're
Yeah,
trying to squeeze
Yeah.
every penny. I mean, look at Luke Combs' record label tried to sue that girl that was selling cups or whatever,
yeah,
with his name on them or something. Some lady just trying to take, and Luke caught a, lot of things I could say about him, but kudos to him for this. He did catch on to that, and ended up giving her a bunch of money and business. So
yeah.
good on him,
Nice.
but. Um, yeah, I'm not. I don't care, bro. I think of it like I'm honored that you would want to do that. And
Yeah,
that you would do
like the
that.
music, man. I got to. Now, I think another big question, because I know you said a lot of like '90s music, '90s country music was a
Yep.
big inspiration on you. Now, if you can bring this down, who is your favorite country singer of all time?
Ooh, lordy.
Yeah, that's
Um,
why I said if you can break it down.
there's different.
I,
There's different
I'll make it easier. Top five.
top
Top
five.
five.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, because there's different facets to this. So, like, I have, Merle Haggard tattooed here, Mama Tried, and then Johnny Cash on this arm. So, because when I was growing up, and you've heard your dad, but my biological father went to prison when I was 4, and
Hmm.
since then he's been in and out of prison my whole life. But he played guitar and sang, and that's kind of like because I wasn't close to him, I wanted, I guess, to be more like him or whatever. Um, that's weird, but I guess that's how it was. So, but anytime I heard him play a song, it was a Hank Jr. song or Merle Haggard or Waylon Jennings, and so that's the first stuff I learned. I love George. So top five would be this. We'll go 5 to 1, I guess. Um, or I don't know, no specific order. It's so hard. George Jones, because his voice is so unique,
Hmm.
and the way that he can go so low in his register and then so high also at the same time. And he was just, man, people don't give him enough credit for being such a freaking outlaw. He didn't give, like I just told you the lawnmower story. He was just a guy.
You
He
didn't.
didn't he did not care about his fame or anything like that. He just, I mean, he barely showed up to his own concerts. They called him No Show Jones, because he was always drunk, hiding
Damn.
out. He would disappear, bro, for like a week or two at a time when he was on tour, and his manager would have to find him, and he'd always find him in a cheap hotel room, just drinking liquor out the bottle and smoking cigarettes or whatever, just being by himself. Um, so George Jones, Waylon Jennings, um, Willie Nelson, Willie Nelson, because he's just one guy that I happen to learn a lot about, and once again, unique man. He did his own thing when Nashville didn't want him, and Nashville told him, basically same thing. Like, you're not gonna do it over there in Texas. We own country music, is what they made him feel like, and you can write our songs, but we don't. You're not gonna be the one singing them. And he went to Texas and put in the bird and did it his own way with Waylon, and that was before social media. So, geez, man, he had it a lot harder, and so a lot of respect for him. And the last two would be uh, I you know, this is a tough one because I want to say Garth Brooks was a big inspiration on me in the '90s, and he was. A lot of people right now are whatever with him because I don't even pay attention to half the stuff because I don't really care about what he does in his personal life. But his music was game changer, and his my biggest thing with him was the stage presence.
Yeah.
He could tear up a stage, man. Like he was the first guy in country music to run around the stage like he was doing a rock and roll concert, and run around and just make it bigger and more enjoyable, more fun. Kind of like what Elvis did, when Elvis came and he was shaking his hips and stuff, and everybody's like, "That's not how we do it. We stand still and do this," And so Garth Brooks was a big one. I'm gonna try to pick a modern one here. Um, I tell you what, man, I look up to I do look up to Ryan Upchurch a lot.
Okay. Okay.
And
Upchurch.
and it's a lot of people probably wouldn't expect me to say that because uh, a lot of people don't talk about him or give him credit or whatever. But the dude, regardless of what anybody thinks, man, he
Does his
went
own thing.
from nothing to taking care of himself and more and getting everything he wants and needs without a label. And he could have had a record deal. I know for a fact. Matter of fact, that my first manager was the same manager he had at first, Johnny Cashville. We ran in the same circles for a minute, and he had multiple offers on the table, and completely turned them down. And I gotta respect him, man, because of the way that he figured out the social media game. He perfected the science and the art to it he was the first guy that made me realize you can't just be a singer anymore. You've got to be an influencer too. You've got to be able to entertain on social media, even if it has nothing to do with your music. And you can do both and make it work. And I think he's a lot smarter than people give him credit for. And he's a freaking genius. And sometimes that people say that bites him in the butt because he talks about stuff that other people don't really understand on YouTube. But so what? I mean, he's built his own platform.
Yeah.
Let him talk about what he wants to talk about.
That kind of goes back to what I was told from a couple of creators before. One of those creators is Mr. Rogers Review. He's been on a couple times with us, and he's even said that, dude, if you got haters because you talk about something or you say something, the haters are there, then you're doing something right. Because
Yeah.
he said, believe it or not, most haters or most people that don't like your stuff that you talk about or that don't like you in general, they're going to be the most to engage in your post.
Exactly.
And that's sad.
I'm good friends with so I don't know. Do y'all know who Roger Stone is?
I don't.
So
I'm sorry.
Roger Stone was he has a documentary on Netflix called "Get Me Roger Stone," and he was the guy that headed up. He's still the top president. He's top advisor to Donald Trump. And he was in the Nixon eras when he started getting into politics and stuff like that. But I'm not saying anything political. What I'm saying is he's a friend of mine. That's who he is. But he taught me something very important, and it's just he says the only thing worse than people talking shit about you is not talking about you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never heard anything more true. I mean, they always say bad publicity or no publicity is bad publicity. That's just a better way to put that. I mean, if they're talking about you, you've done something right up to that point, even if it's bad stuff, for them to even want to talk about you. So
that's fair. Yeah, you're absolutely right. 100%. So do you have the Whiskey Don't Shoot Me Tonight? That's your most recent. We're gonna go back to music here.
Yeah.
That's your most recent, right? And do you have any more planned on the horizon?
Bro, I have so many songs that actually instead of I'm gonna play y'all one in just a second. Instead of playing Whiskey Don't Shoot Me Tonight, I'm gonna play you one that I haven't recorded yet. That I wrote when I was a drinker too about alcohol and that. So I'll play you that, but right after I say this, I have so many songs that I've written that I haven't gone and recorded. The songs that I put out so far have kind of been like little test in the water with this producer I'm working with and the sound and all this. Matter of fact, let me play you this song right here, if you don't mind, because I probably got 5 minutes left.
He said he got 5 minutes left. Is that what he said?
Yeah. He said he's got like 5 minutes left.
Okay.
But this is called. So, I wrote this years ago, and it's if whiskey could write a song about an alcoholic, if whiskey was singing, right, describing his relationship with an alcoholic, this is what it would sound like.
I'm gonna listen.
I've known that boy forever. I've been there through everything. We've always stuck together. We're best friends, you see. I've been there when he's standing tall, and I've been there when he fell. Him and I've been through it all. Lord knows we raised some hell. I can't talk, but I find a way to speak to him. I can't walk, but I've been everywhere he's been. I can't hold him, but I keep him warm, you see. I've gone by many names, but you can call me Whiskey. See, I knew his daddy and his granddaddy too. Guess I'm a friend of the family. You better hope I don't know you. 'Cause once I pull you in, boy, I tend to stay. Then you'll lose it all before you throw me away. Well, I can't talk, but I find a way to speak to him. I can't walk, but I've been everywhere he's been. And I can't hold him, but I keep him warm, you see. Well, I've gone by Jack or Jim, but you can call me Whiskey. Oh, call me Whiskey. I've known that boy forever. I've been there through everything. We've always stuck together, but now he's leaving me.
That was phenomenal.
That was awesome, dude. That was fucking
Dude,
awesome.
Thank you.
yeah.
That to me is so much deeper, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I got chills whenever you said I knew his daddy and I knew his granddad too. And you better hope I don't know you. I was like, oh, that was good.
yeah. My dad, like I said, he's a drug addict, alcoholic, you know, and his dad. I met him once before he died because he died of liver failure from drinking and pills and stuff like that. It's as often is a family thing, man. It's a family trait, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
genetics and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, hey, bro, Tank, what kind? Do you like rock and roll? I mean, you like '80s rock and stuff like that?
I'm a metalhead / rocker. I love
That's what he does.
like AC/DC, Metallica, Led Zeppelin,
Okay, what about
Behemoth.
Motley Crue?
Yeah, I dig Crew.
All right, so I was at Vince Neil's house, the lead singer of Motley Crue. I was at his house probably 2 months ago, and my buddy Johnny Cashville, actually, my first manager, he is having his art, we're doing some art stuff there. Well, Vince was walking in, and everybody's like, you know, oh, fanboying over him and stuff. And for some reason, I just don't do that because I know, like, I don't like being that guy. He's already getting smothered. And I went and so I said, I gotta take a shit, and went in his bathroom. I took a shit at Vince Neil's house. And then what's funnier is then Vince had to use the bathroom. I was taking a shit. He went and peed in the bushes out front. But anyway, so awesome. I tell you that to tell you, Tank, if I have a song called Motley Crue, that is I rocked it up a lot. I even do a little rock scream at the beginning. Most people didn't think I could do, and it's a tribute to Motley Crue, kind of like Take Me Back to the '90s was a '90s tribute. So make sure you look that one up. That's gonna be your favorite song, bro. I promise.
Okay, I'll give it a look.
Yeah, it's kind of like whenever, because when I'm not working, like I literally, bro, like I'll sit there and zone out and just play Madden, or anything really. Like I'm a big video game guy just for the fact of like melting my brain and not doing anything.
What system do you play on?
I have a 360.
360.
No, why did I say 360? Xbox One.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Like,
whoa.
My age is showing.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm 32. What the hell are you trying to say? Matter of
our age
fact,
is showing.
he's the oldest one in here. So, sorry, buddy.
It's all right.
How
It's all
old do
right.
you
they
think
have a
Tank
lot of.
is, Austin?
Since you said that, I'm gonna go with 36.
Right on the dot.
Wow.
Right on the dot. He's got you.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
See, before you go, I will tell you this, Austin. So I do play instruments. As you can see back here, I got my drums right here.
Yep.
You got the big ass recliner, but there are drums back there. And when you came out with "Take Me Back to the '90s," I was like, dude. I told my wife, I was like, dude, I love this song. I'm gonna go learn it. So I actually learned it on my drums, and I think I'm pretty decent at it. I think I'm
That's
pretty decent.
badass, bro. That is awesome, dude. I love.
I loved it.
I
I
do
love
like
playing
drummers. There have been a few drummers that it's like if I post something acoustic, they'll like a couple times I've gotten people that'll like go put drums to it like from their
Mhm.
house or whatever and send it to me, and I just think that's the coolest thing. I just think it's so cool to me, man. That it's something cool about being able to create something and watch other people enjoy it, and it's always it never gets old when somebody knows the words to one of your songs or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
My
it's
problem is I have
indescribable.
stage fright.
That one will
I-
get you.
Yeah,
that'll get you.
like I've been playing 20 years on drums, man, and I still don't think I'm good. I really don't. But from what Tank and his wife and people that have came over, they're like, dude, you're good. I'm like, yeah, but I could be better. I'm not no Rev from Avenged Sevenfold. I'm not Neil Peart.
You're not
I'm just
Joey.
me.
You're not Joey, but you're really good.
Thank you.
The freaking it's just like I don't know, man. I think it's just kind of do it. Drummers are some of the craziest people I've ever met. They're either
He is
wild.
psychotic.
I mean, you
Thanks.
almost got to be ADHD to be a good drummer.
Yes, because that's exactly what I am.
They're wild, bro. Like they're crazy, and like a drummer can mess up the whole band based off his mood. I used to have this drummer, man. If he was like really upset and really drunk, he'd like play every song a little slower, or he'd do the opposite. If he was angry, he'd just like I'm like, bro, just like keep it down. So it's hard to find a good drummer that will just keep a tempo, right? And
Yeah.
and not showboat it too much or whatever. Same thing with guitar players, bro.
I
Lead
got you,
guitar
buddy.
players.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm sober and I keep a good tempo. I got you.
Perfect, bro. That works, man. Yeah, freaking. That's musicians do that. Lead guitar players, they'll on places they're not supposed to. I'm like, bro.
You're
Bro,
like,
I
dude,
had a lead
calm
guitar
down.
player at a $6,000 show at a theme park last year. I was playing a lead guitar player that I hired, brought his computer and was playing solitaire during the gig.
What?
I'm not making this up. Yes, and my manager, fired him obviously afterwards. Like, what? Yeah, it was wild, dude. I kicked the band off the stage the last two songs so I could finish the show. $6,000 show. Yeah.
Wow.
Playing solitaire.
Playing solitaire. Oh, you could have played something better like Tetris.
I think he was on that hard stuff, but.
Mm.
But look, much love, guys. I don't want to cut y'all early. I'm gonna go check on the wife and.
Well,
and
before you go, would you like to shout out your socials? That way people can follow you.
Yeah, I made my name
Yes.
right here. Oh, over where am I pointing? Right there, Austin.
Right there,
Fuller
yep.
Music. You can find me anywhere with that handle. I don't use Twitter. Threads, I think I kind of use it. I guess they're kind of trying to be the new Twitter, but mainly Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
Okay.
YouTube. I'll post everything there. So, and Instagram is the best because I post stories and stuff, more often. But anyways, matter of fact, I tagged y'all in the story before I get on here.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet. Well, I'll check that out, man. Dude, I really appreciate you coming on, giving us the hour that you've given us. We really appreciate it. We really are happy about it. We know that you're gonna go far. You're gonna rock this shit, dude. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah,
It still blows my mind that I like some country now.
Hey, bro, that's all right. That's because you know why? It's because it's actually country music. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna stop calling it myself just call it real. It's just real music, man. It's about real stuff that people go through. You know, what they say Hank Williams did is that made him stand out is they say at the time he was writing songs and singing songs, saying things that nobody else had the courage to say. So, you know, if a man is dealing with insecurities or alcoholism or whatever, you know, as a man, you don't really want to talk about that, right? You don't want to talk about your weaknesses as much. It's tough for us.
Yeah.
And so, but that same man might sit in the car by himself, like I've done with Jelly Roll songs, and sit and listen to that song and sing it, and that's how he's expressing his feelings and getting that out. You need that. That's real music, and you don't need songs like "The Parking Lot Party," right? Lazy written. I mean, stupid. That's not. That's pop music. It's just popular music with a country twang. But at any rate, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me, man.
We thank you.
I'll come back and hang out another time. So
yeah, we would love to have you again.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Holler at you later.
Right. Keep in touch, bud.
All right,
that was
Will.
Phenomenal.
Oh, I keep hitting this thing. I'm gonna have to
stop
move it.
breaking things.
You stop breaking things. Anyway,
I'm not the one breaking things.
Guys, be sure to follow us. Our link tree is down that way. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. We are on everything.
Okay. We're
everywhere. But yeah, make sure to follow us, guys. Make sure to follow us, guys, and we will see you guys next episode.
Dude, do you see how shiny my head is?
Later, guys.
Later.